So if you run a salon or a spa business, you take a lot of decisions every day. And a lot of these decisions that we take are based on like our thoughts, our emotions, our picture of the world, which might not always be true. So that's why it's so important that we are grounded in data and that we are tracking data to know how our business performs. So what we want to talk about in today's video is what numbers then, what data should you look at, and what are the key numbers for you to track.
And if this is the first time you're watching us, my name is Mia Allansson.
And I'm John Hallberg. And this is where we share our ideas and strategies to help you grow your salon or spa business. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out when we publish new content here.
So why is the data and the numbers so important for us? For me, it brings clarity. I mean, numbers don't lie. The fact is the fact. It's easier when I communicate with my team rather than just showing something like, I think it's like this, or I thought it's like this. Here you can just show the facts and the numbers. This is how many clients that pre-booked. This is how many. It's easier to just bring the facts to them. And also sets the direction for the team. This is our focus area this month. This couple of months, we're going to reach that number instead of a soft value that is not as easy to measure. This is something that you really can measure and get your business to flourish, really.
Yeah, and I love how you're doing that in your business, because even like I think your whole compensation model, which we probably actually should do a video on at some point on the channel.
Yeah.
But one element of that is like the size of their loyal clientele, right?
Yeah. The biggest pillar of their salary is how many loyal customers do you have? Yeah,
and all of that data, you're basically making it available for the full team to see, each member of staff, like how people are performing on these different metrics that impact salary, that impacts everything, right? Which, to your point, like eliminates any discussion around what should I be paid about, because the data is there, the facts is there.
Yeah.
And I think that can be super helpful in like leading a team to avoid these like subjective conversations on.
And I think something that we're really looking at is pre-booking. How many, for us it's really important because it gives a more of a evil and cash flow that you can rely on is pre-booking. How many of our clients are pre-booking when they come to us, when they have been with us, or that we can see ahead? I think that is something that's really important to measure.
Yeah, one key element of pre-bookings is also loyalty. And I think that is another number that every salon or spa owner should keep track of, and that's your retention rate. And so like what your retention rate is and what's like the right measure will probably vary a little bit on your business depending on the number of factors, what type of business you run, what's the normal frequency. It's going to be different in a nail salon from a hair salon, like depending on the business you run. But generally what I would say is like for a existing client, you want to have a retention rate of about 80%. Or like at least if you go below that, generally I would challenge like, why would you, like, is there something that is wrong here? And when I say retention rate, typically what we would look at is how many clients have another appointment booked after either 90 days or after 180 days. Again, depends on your business. If you're looking at the 180-day window or 90-day, depends on the
what type of
frequency.
Treatment and
what type of treatments you offer. But normally you want that for existing clients to be at about 80%. If you look to new clients, again, that's going to vary even more, because like the number of new clients who basically rebook back in for another one within 90 or 180 days, it's going to depend on like the location of your business. If you're in a very like touristic area or like a ski resort or whatnot, you're going to have a very bad like return, right? That number is not going to look very good. But if you're in a like normal setting, I would want to see that at least like about 40% or something like that, like 50%.
Yeah, you could still, if you're, like you said, in that type of setting, you could have a really good productivity rate, like you're really fully booked, but maybe not so many are customers coming back.
Yeah.
If you're in like a ski resort, so there you can look at both the productivity rate and compare that to the to get the right number for you.
Yeah, and like talking about productivity then. So what is a good productivity rate?
I think around 80% is a good productivity rate. There you can see when you can have that as a goal, and if you know when you have reached like 80%, you know it's time to extend the team, add another team member, because then you can feel confident that you will fill them with new customers, or raise the prices. Because then you know that you can afford to lose some customers that don't want to pay more.
Yeah.
So I think 80% for productivity rate is a really good number to have as a goal to look out for.
Yes, totally agree.
And there they can also vary from team member to team member. So here I think is also you should look at the salon's productivity rate, but also look at each individual. Because this is something that is really good to have, like a goal when you have a conversation with your team members and setting goal for them. This is a really good goal to set.
Yeah.
And equip them with the right tools to reach that productivity rate.
Yeah. And another number we need to keep track of is also the earning per visit, or value for each visit.
Yeah.
And you can, like when tracking that, you would probably want to split that out between your retail and between your services.
Yeah.
So what's like, you know, the average service spend, and what's the average product spend. You might also want to track like the number of products sold per appointment.
Yeah.
Also, and I know many businesses who are working with that as a way to also incentivize staff, because it's easier one to track, to say like, okay, we want you to on average sell, you know, 1 product per appointment, 2 product, whatever, like the business is, and whatever is the right amount. But you know, that's easier to talk to your team about than, you know, maybe the dollar value sometimes.
Yeah.
So those are things you can track, and naturally there's a lot of ways you can drive up the value of each appointment, and tracking this will have your teams focus on doing that.
Yeah.
One thing that we talked about in a previous video that we can link to here as well is also offering the ability for your customers to customize their services, or personalize their services, or add add-ons and so on, like improve their experience, and with that also how much you charge for that service. I'll link somewhere on the screen now to a video where we kind of go into that and to talk about how you can do that.
How you can really
drive up the value.
Drive up also the cash flow for every customer, every service that you have that are already existing. So it's not a new booking. It's the ones that you already have.
Yeah.
So this is a really good number to keep eye on. Also, when it's going down, why is it going down? So here we're talking a lot about keeping things up, and when it's up, you can do this. But I think it's also really good as a salon, as a business owner. It's really good to keep record of all of these numbers to see quick and easy and early when it's going down, so that you can do something about it before it's too late, before you really see it in your cash flow. Here you can see it. I mean, you can't measure every day and compare. That would be too short of a time, but you can easily measure like weeks or months, like to the last month. What I actually do at my salon, I always compare to the last year. So I compare this March to March last year, and I can see was there any difference? Are we going down? Why are we? What type of number was going down? So that you are always on the spot when things like Corona, or it's you have a recession, you're prepared for that. You can see early on, okay, now is the time to have different type of deals for the customers, or loyalty things for the loyal customers to keep them still going. Or coming to you. And what we also measure a lot is people coming out into our website. How many of those people are actually booking a time? Is our website relevant to them? Are we focusing on the right type of customers on our website? Are we getting the traffic that we want or need? Is it the information relevant to people when they go on? Do they find it easier to find the book button and book an appointment? All of those things.
Yeah, and I think you're looking a lot at the website, which I think is a great one.
Yeah.
But naturally, I think generally like your marketing metrics, which could be different depending on the marketing strategy that you use, right? And we talk a lot about marketing strategies here. I'll probably link to some of you as we say this now. But like depending on the strategy you use, like you work a lot with people coming to your website and finding you online when searching, and you should look at that. It could be like if you're very active on social, or you're like working hard with Google reviews, and there might be other messages as well that is important for you to track to see, like to spot early if there's a dip or if something is happening, kind of like how you're bringing in clients, right? So I guess the exact measure to use there will really depend on your business, is what I'm trying to say.
Of course. But I think you shouldn't underestimate the power of Google, like reviews and and the website and so on, because it's focused on people wanting to book a time today rather than people just browsing for some inspiration.
And I think we could make this video really long if we're going to go in and talk about all that. I think we'll save it for a separate one. But make sure, so that you can watch that as well when it comes to like winning on Google and all of that. Separate discussion. Anyway, so what we wanted to cover today was around like reporting and data, which numbers you should track in your business.
And the importance of tracking, both for good and bad.
Yes, absolutely. And like the tool I'm using for this is MangoMint, of course, which is what we're talking about on this channel, which has a very powerful set of reports. Typically, most of the things that we've talked about, you should be able to find in any decent salon software. So I'm sure like if you look into your system, you will be able to find things like your retention rate, like this appointments data that we talked about pre-bookings and all of that. You should be able to find in there. If not, I can also link here to a video where I show you how I'm doing this inside MangoMint for those of you who use that platform, so that you can see how that works there. All right.
So thank you for today, guys. I think we wrapped some really interesting stuff. And like, if you have anything that you want, another subject that you want us to talk about, or anything that you would like us to add to this video, please write here below or give us a thumbs up so we know that we're doing the right thing here.
Yes. Cool. See you soon.